Welcome to Dropping In, a podcast of storytelling and interviews with your host, Winter Olympian Mercedes Nichol.
Thank you so much for dropping in today. This is series 15, and today is February 25th, 2026. Now, if you're new to dropping in, thanks so much for joining us. And if you're coming back again and again, I appreciate you more than you know. Now, let's talk about goals. They give us direction, but they also test us. They show up on the good days, and they really matter on the hard ones. Goals aren't just about winning medals or hitting milestones. They're about learning how to keep moving forward when motivation dips, plans change, or life throws us curveballs. In this series, we drop in with athletes, Olympians, as well as change makers to unpack how goals are set, reset, and sometimes completely rewritten. From small daily habits to big career-defining dreams, these conversations explore what it really takes to stay focused, patient, and keep going one goal at a time. Get ready to drop in. We are about to laugh, listen, and learn from these experiences. Now, let me introduce our next guest. I had the pleasure of meeting this guest in 2020 at the lighting of the Vancouver Cauldron. And again, I just bumped into her this February 2026 at the same lighting cauldron, though I see a lot of her on TV and online. She steps up to every stage with heart, power, and a voice that electrifies the crowd. And I can say she's one of the best O Canada anthem singers that I know. She started on the big stage at just age of 10, singing both national anthems at her very first NHL Vancouver Canucks games. She's now a fixture at major sporting events across North America. From packed arenas singing for the Vancouver Canucks, the Vancouver Whitecaps, the Seattle Seahawks, the WWE, as well as gala stages, her dynamic vocals and emotional depth have captured audiences far and wide. She's also a voice actor in the globally popular YouTube series Junie Tony, an award-winning singer-songwriter with original releases, including her debut single Remember and follow-up Your Time. She's also won 2 Young Artists Academy Awards for Outstanding Single in Los Angeles. This friend-daughter award winner, singer, performer is a creative force. This creative force is about to drop in. It's my pleasure to welcome Elizabeth Irving. Elizabeth, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for that intro.
My pleasure. Well, you've done a lot. It's so exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, it was surreal to hear you read it back. It's always cool to kind of go down memory lane and hear about what I've accomplished thus far.
Well, congratulations on a only just starting flourishing career that seems to be going on for a long time. Because you started when you were 10. That's kind of crazy.
A long time ago. Yeah.
So cool. All right. Are you ready to drop in on our rapid fire questions that you haven't seen except for the last one?
I'm ready.
All right. They shouldn't be too difficult. Number 1, are you mountains, ocean, or city vibes?
I'm a little bit of all of the above. I think that's
Mhm.
why I stay based in Vancouver, because you get all 3 of those at the tip of your fingers. And
Yes.
so it's hard to pick. In the summertime, I love going on hikes in the mountains. I love going to the beach. I love paddleboarding. I love going out on the boat. In the wintertime, I love going out snowboarding. Not nearly as good as you, but I do love to dabble in snowboarding. I love
Amazing.
snowshoeing and all of the above. So yeah,
Perfect.
that's why I stay in Vancouver.
Awesome. And are you Vancouver today?
I am in Vancouver. I'm in my kitchen in Vancouver.
Oh, okay. For those that are just listening, it's a beautiful background that you have.
Thank you. It's the Dickens tile collection.
It's so sick. Number 2, are you a window seat or an aisle girl?
Good question. I used to be a window seat person all the way.
Mhm.
I would lobby for it. I have 2 older brothers, so I
Yeah.
would try and fight for it. But as of late, I've started to be an aisle seat person. And I find it, I have to go to the washroom. I have to go pee so many times during my flight. And so I find not having to interrupt anyone and just being able to get up and stretch and walk around and go as I please is so nice. And then also having that little extra leg room to stretch out my legs is just, I'm short, but it's still really nice.
I get restless legs. I'm the same. I used to be window and now I'm aisle because
Yeah,
my legs freak out.
me too. Yeah.
All right, number 3. What's one word that your friends would use to describe you?
Another good question. I would say maybe bubbly.
Ooh,
Um,
I like that.
yeah, bubbly would be like the unique word, I guess, that they would use. I think that I'm a very extroverted person and I'm
Mhm.
very open to meeting new people and trying new things. And I love just having energetic conversations, especially when they're reciprocated. So I think that
Nice.
they'd probably say bubbly, but
I
I'd
would
have to
I would
ask.
agree. I would agree.
Okay, good. There you go.
Number 4, do you have a small daily ritual that you just never skip?
Ah, I do actually. I
Mm.
love a good bath. I have
Ooh.
probably a bath every single day, obviously like paired with a shower or whatever, but the bath part stays. I find that it helps me reset at the end of the day and I can just relax. I can put my phone away. I can read a book if I want to. I can listen to
Mm.
music if I want to. I just find that that's my favorite ritual.
Sick. I like that. I totally respect that. Now I wanna talk about books, but I'm not going to. Not yet.
We will. We'll get there.
Yeah. Number 5, if you had a surprise-free day, how would you spend it?
Surprise free day. What is that? No.
Yeah, right?
um,
You've been busy lately.
Yeah, honestly, it would probably be spent with family.
Yeah.
I find that in the midst of busy, it's hard to kind of connect with the grandparents and my little cousins
Mm.
and my brothers and my parents. So I think probably spending a day with them doing honestly anything would be so special and would be the ideal free day.
I love that. That's great. Number 6, what's something that always makes you laugh?
That always makes me laugh. Um, Honestly, any kind of just joke, even if it's a bad joke, I will always laugh. I
Yeah,
think probably because it's bad, and I know that you know maybe it's bad too.
right.
I always just have a good giggle. Um,
Perfect.
but I'd say that I'm an overly giggly person, so really anything makes me laugh, to be
I
honest.
I feel like this is why we get along.
I agree.
Okay, number 7, texting or voice notes?
It depends.
Mm,
I love a good voice note. I have a girlfriend of mine who lives in Alberta, and so
yeah.
I don't see her very often. And so we'll send voice notes back and forth. And I love just sitting down and listening to the 10 minutes of catching up that she sends and then remembering it and then sending one back.
Yeah.
But I find that on a consistent basis really hard, um,
Mhm.
just because there's not enough time to listen, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, Texting is nice because it's so quick and easy, but I also just hate being on my phone. So I find having to like text somebody back consistently is just
Also
annoying.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love phone calls. Phone calls I find are my absolute favorite. Once I get in the
Yes.
car, actually everybody in my circle will be like, "Where are you driving to now?" Because that's when I
Totally.
call.
That's on point. That's on
Yeah.
point. I feel like that's totally normal.
I think so. But I feel
In,
like
like,
they
my
don't
friend
do
group.
it. Yeah.
Oh, they're like
It's just
yeah,
me.
that's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, number 8. What's one thing that you're currently obsessed with?
Currently obsessed with. These are really good, thought-provoking questions. Uh, well, I've always been obsessed with goats. Those are like my favorite animals.
Okay,
Um,
tell me more. This is awesome.
yeah, I don't even know how it necessarily started. I think that I would just go to all the farms and I'd always gravitate towards the goats. And I thought that their
Oh,
noises were really funny and everyone would
for
kind
sure.
of ignore them. They would go over to the cows or they'd go to the sheep. And I was like, well, what about the goats?
You
And
felt
so
bad for
I
them.
felt bad for them. I was like, hey, give them some attention. Come on.
Cute.
So I would go over to them and then I started getting more into it. And then I realized that goat yoga was a thing. And so I went to goat yoga and I was just obsessed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you should try it out. And
I'm just like, are they tiny goats
they're
that are
baby,
like yeah, they're
little
little baby
babies.
goats.
Yeah. And then they
Oh
jump on
my
your back and have fun with you. Honestly, I don't think I did much yoga. I just hung out with the goats, to be
No
honest.
doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, but I love everything goat. I have a goat mug sitting on my
Okay.
counter right now. I have goat stickers that I put in every one of my gifts that I give.
Yes.
So that's fun. Anything goat related. I love it.
Okay. Everyone's got their animal. I like rabbits. You like goats.
There you go.
Perfect.
Exactly.
So good. Number 9, if you could instantly master one skill, what would it be?
Snowboarding.
I mean, I'm sure you're good at it. Okay, that's funny because my thing would be singing. So we
Okay,
just
this
like
is
flip
great.
flop.
This is hilarious. Yeah, no, I used to be a skier and
Okay.
I was fine at skiing. I never really struggled, I guess.
Yeah.
And then my brothers were snowboarders and they would always snowboard and they were like, Elizabeth, you got to be cool and snowboard. And so I got
Okay.
into it and I don't know what it is. I can't. I can't.
I'm coming down. You're either coming up here or I'm coming down there to help you out.
We'll make it work.
We will.
I
We will.
need a
We'll
lesson.
giggle the whole time.
Okay, great. I love it. And have bruised bums, or at least I will.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, I won't let that happen. All right, number 10. This is the one that is important. When a goal feels far away or starts to change, what's one thing you remind yourself to stay committed?
2 things,
Okay, yeah.
which kind of melt into the same one.
Mhm.
I always remember where I started. And
Oh,
yeah, and the little girl I was when I started. And I just remember that little girl who was so full of ambition and just drive and zest for life.
yeah.
I think of her and I'm like, you know what? She didn't crave perfection. She didn't
Mm,
crave goals to be accomplished every single time one is set. She just craved to be in the action and she craved just singing and entertaining and having fun. And so if a goal needs to change or if a goal maybe isn't hit or if I create a goal, I just try and keep that in mind of
mhm.
she wasn't in this to accomplish necessarily great things. That's just a cherry on top. She was in it to have fun and do the thing that she loves to do.
Oh, love that. That's so true. That's so powerful. Is a lot of the time, because I've had so many people on this series so far, and I'm like, do we take the time to reflect? Do we take the time to look back? And not many people do. So I really, really appreciate that. You crushed it. That was the rapid fire. We did it.
We did it. We did
Done
it.
and dusted. And it's such a good segue, that last question, because you were 10 years old. Like, how did that even come about?
Yeah. I don't honestly I don't even know. I think that it was a lot of just beautiful timing and
Okay.
supportive parents and just already being in the industry, the entertainment industry in kind of a student way. Like I was in musical theater and I was dancing and I was singing. So I had all of these opportunities on stage
Yeah.
at a musical theater school.
Mhm.
And then kind of just one thing led to the next. And I was at my brother's hockey game singing the anthem for his team. And someone from the
Aha.
Canucks was there and they said, hey, you should audition. And this was something that my aunt had been saying for years. And that was kind of the last push. And my parents said, all right, do you want to do this? And being a yes kiddo, I was like, yes, let's do it. So I think I sent in an
Wow.
audition. I was in my pajamas in the bathroom. And that's
That's
how it started.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's so perfect. Yeah, no, that is something about timing, and a lot of that is coming
Mhm.
out now, like, everything really has to do with timing, like, you just happen to be singing at your brother's game, and there happened to be someone from the Canucks in the audience that was like, "You should think about this." Had you, like, had that okay, and then your aunt was like, "Yeah, I knew you should have done that."
Yeah. Literally, she was like, I've been telling you this all along.
Oh my goodness, and what timing was it, that the past singer of the anthem was no longer there? Was that just, like, epic timing for you?
Yeah, so when I started when I was 10,
Mhm.
Mark Donnelly, who is the past singer for the Canucks, he was still singing. And so
Okay.
I would kind of just fill in here and there. And
Yeah.
so I do maybe a couple games a season. And that was probably consistent for maybe like 8 years, I'd say.
Okay.
7, 8 years,
Yeah.
whenever COVID happened. And then COVID
Mhm.
happened, and that was when things changed in the organization. And that's when I really started to sing much more consistently. And so when that happened, then there was like a couple of us that would kind of sing. And then when playoffs happened,
Yeah.
that was when it was really solidified that, okay, we want you to be the full-time singer, except for theme nights and et cetera, et cetera. And
Okay.
that was like a mind-blowing, oh my goodness, full circle moment.
Wow. Oh my, well, you're just so freaking good at it. I have
Thank
to
you.
tell you, and I think I write this to you. I'm like, my dad watches the Canucks like religiously, and he's in Mexico right now. And he stands up for all the anthems. So he's standing in Mexico for you.
I love it. That's so special.
It's so cool. So like, did you ever foresee this being a goal that you wanted to do that full time? I mean, I know you also have a job, so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna belittle that at all. Like
No, no, no.
this is something that's really cool. How did this did this turn into a goal or did just time unravel? What were the steps?
I think I always had hopes of this being a long-term thing, and it being a goal, but I
Yeah,
think that time kind of just unraveled, and then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, this unofficial goal that I had is becoming a reality.
I
And
love that.
so it's a bit of both, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's so true because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you must have dreamed about going to the Olympics." I'm like, "I never dreamed about it." It all like came to fruition. And as you're saying, timing is everything. It's so lovely. And Canucks are so lucky to have you.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
I wanna talk about the way that you interact with everyone that's there because I watched a little documentary on that, and
Mm.
you are such a nice, kind human, and so is your mom. But one quote that you said you took from your dad was, "People will remember you long after they'll remember your performance." So within that, I wanna break it down because it sounds like, yes, you've achieved this, goal that came about becoming a full-time anthem singer for the Canucks, but the way that you interact with people, that seems like a goal in its own entity, but also in my mind, it's kind of like, that's just being a great Canadian.
100%. Yes. You get it. Yes.
I totally get it, yeah. But do you have to work at that? Because you're meeting so many people all the time. You're the face, so people, like, see you and they're like, "I know you." And even I'm like, "I know you," but we've met a couple of times, but I feel like we're great friends now.
I
Um,
agree.
do you think that you have to, like, make a goal to achieve something to better yourself in that essence?
That's a good question. I think when you're in the moment,
Mhm.
obviously, I'm sure you can understand this when you're snowboarding, is you almost get this adrenaline going, and you just get into your zone, and you get ready to do basically what you're there to do.
Yeah,
And I just have to remind myself, not necessarily to be a good person, but to not get so wrapped up in that moment that I forget about the people who are around me.
I love
And
that.
that's something that's really important to me. And that's why my dad would tell me that. And he'd sit me down at my bedside when I was 10, when I kind of first started. And he'd be like, Elizabeth, remember, they'll remember you long after they remember your performance. And he was basically saying, you could be the best snowboarder, you could be the best
Mhm.
singer, but you could be a awful person, or someone could have an interaction with you and it maybe wasn't one that they would feel good about. And
Mhm.
so it was him saying, in all of those moments, always remember to just choose kindness, and
Mm.
to give even just a smile to someone, and to just make them feel how you would want to feel if the roles were reversed.
I
And
think
so,
that's so important.
yeah, and so I think that is the most important goal of all. And it's not one that's unachievable to anybody. I think it's a goal that should be set by every person.
Mhm. I think that's so valid right now. I think it's so important in the world that we're in at the moment. Very insightful information that I hope everyone in the world can hear, because a smile does go a long way. And and a lot of people might have this, a lot of people definitely do have this, "Oh my gosh, that's Elizabeth," like, they're so excited to see you. I get excited to see you. I get so excited to listen to you sing too. It's like, it's so beautiful, and you're doing something that not everyone can do. So I appreciate that little, tidbit for us.
Thank you.
I w I wanna talk about, a little bit more about goals, in the sense, like you said at the beginning, that you didn't wanna put pressure, like, you reflect back and you didn't wanna put pressure to be perfect. What is your perfect then?
My perfect is when I'm happy and when I'm enjoying my time
Mhm.
and when the scale of happy versus sad or negative emotions, I guess, I always want that scale of happy to be
Yeah,
far above the negative scale. And so that to me is my perfect.
okay. How do you get over, well, first of all, do you get butterflies?
Of course. Of
And
course.
how do you get over that?
I learned very quickly to just accept it. I think for the longest time I was like, "Oh, just go away. I hate that feeling in my tummy. Like it doesn't
Okay.
feel good."
Yeah.
And then somebody told me, they were like, just accept it. Like it's not going anywhere. So why are you
Yeah.
trying to push it away? Maybe you could use it as jet fuel to help kind of amplify your performance. And then when that was said, I was like, wow. And I went and did my next anthem and I accepted it. And it wasn't perfect at first. It's
Yeah.
hard to accept something that feels foreign. But after time, it started to actually help boost my anthem or even any performance.
Okay, that's so interesting, because how would you replicate that other than being there?
I haven't learned how to replicate that. I
Okay.
I think that there's
You're
always
doing it
butterflies.
in the moment.
Yeah, kind of. Well, there's always butterflies. Like
Yeah.
literally anytime that I have to have a microphone in front of me,
Yeah.
there are going to be butterflies.
Okay, cool.
Like the scale is different. Obviously,
Yeah.
like singing for the Seahawks in front of 75,000 people, there's going to be a lot of butterflies.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so there's always that jet fuel, and also there's jet fuel from the fact that I'm just so happy to be there and to be doing what 10-year-old Elizabeth wanted to be doing.
Isn't that cool? Do you ever get sick of the national anthem?
I've been asked this question a lot, and
No,
no.
don't.
The answer
No,
is
you
no.
don't.
No, because I mean, it makes sense. You're doing
Yeah.
something over and over again, and like a
Yeah.
routine can, I guess, start to feel old for some people.
Yeah.
But this is a routine that is so much bigger than just a routine. It's a moment where I'm able to bring a crowd of people together to sing our national anthem, which feels vastly patriotic and just
Yeah.
makes me feel so proud to be a Canadian, and to be able to do that on such a grand scale is so cool. And
Yeah.
it's something that I definitely don't take for granted and I definitely don't get tired of.
No, it's so funny. I asked that, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, but I'm older than you, and I was in school, and we literally had to sing "O Canada" every day.
Yeah.
And I just don't, you don't get sick of it. It is patriotic. It is such a beautiful thing, and you make it sound the most beautiful. Oh my goodness. I do wanna just let the listeners know that you also sing "I Believe" beautifully.
Oh,
And does that stir up any emotions for you from the games?
it does. So the first time that I sang I Believe was before COVID. I don't remember the year of the
Mhm.
Olympics then, but it was prior to COVID. And they brought it to me and they said, "Hey, what would you think about doing this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And I sang it, and immediately, when you start feeling that buildup of sort of tears, you're kind of like,
Yes.
"Okay, I'm getting close to maybe shedding a tear." I
Mhm.
felt that in that moment, and I felt it again this past cauldron lighting ceremony,
Yeah.
and it's just so cool.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't cry. I'm, like, about to cry talking
I
about it.
Yeah, it
And
just
it's
brings
so
back so
special.
much. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so special.
Amazing. I want to talk, if we have time, a little bit about your work life. Obviously, yes, you are the face of our Canadian national anthem, and we thank you so much for that. But I want people to know that you also have a job, and I want you to get into that a little bit with us and how you fit all of that in, and you have, like, 2 avenues of your life. Let's get into that.
Yeah, so I have my toes dipped in a lot of different ponds.
Yeah.
There's the voiceover work, which I voice. One of my projects is Junie and Tony, where I voice the voice of Junie. And that's an insane project. We have over 6 million subscribers on YouTube, which is just baffling.
It's amazing.
And so that's one project that I do. And my main job, like all day job, let's say, is
Yeah.
I work with kids on the autism spectrum and kiddos with accessibility needs through the city. And it's something that brings me the utmost amount of joy. I have pieces of my heart scattered all throughout the Lower Mainland, and it's with
Yeah.
these kiddos that I've had the pleasure of working with.
So cool. And with Junie and Tony, how did that come about? Did you have to, audition for that?
Yeah, so I started on that project almost 8 years ago
Wow.
now, which is also crazy. I do have an agent who sends me out for voiceover work. And
Mhm.
so she sent me out for this project, and then I got hired on after auditioning.
So cool. It's hard to have goals in that, like, realm of work, I think, because you're auditioning I would assume you're auditioning a lot to do things, and a lot of the time it's no.
Yeah,
And, I mean, I've had to audition for action sports, like, commercials and stuff like that,
right.
and or it's, like, not even a no, it's just, like, you're not hearing from them. So how do you, like, overcome that if it's something that you think you really want?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just get used to it, but you
Yeah.
also realize that your worth isn't defined by those no's, which
Hmm.
is really important. And that was an important kind of shift that I had. I was auditioning for film as well
Yeah.
many years ago, and it was between myself and a girl from Disney
Okay.
to get this one role.
Yeah.
And we went back and forth. I had to work with a dialect coach because I had to have an accent and all of this stuff. And I was
Yeah.
so excited. I thought I had it, and I didn't get the role.
Oh,
And it was months of preparation, and it just gutted me. So I stopped film altogether. I haven't returned, but um, I think that moment taught me. Obviously, I was very devastated and sad, but it taught me,
mhm.
like, you know what? I gotta know, but that doesn't define who I am. And maybe film just isn't for me. Not because I got this no, but because I don't want to deal with that rejection,
Yeah.
and that's okay too, if it's something that you're not passionate about.
Mhm.
Um, but then that turned me into the avenue of voice acting,
Yeah.
which I just absolutely loved. And then I realized, okay, I'm getting all of these no's, but I'm okay with it because I'm still motivated to do another audition and to see if I get a yes or a no.
Oh, super interesting.
Mm,
Different passion, and you had it, and, maybe on-screen acting just not there wasn't the passion for that's super
exactly.
interesting. I love that.
Yeah,
Wow, okay. Oh my gosh, just so many questions. And then for, working with the kiddos with autism, I just kudos to you and what a fulfilling career that's going to be, and it probably is. What did you do to prepare for that? Obviously, school and stuff like that?
definitely. Yeah. So I was a TA in high school in the Learning Resource Center. And so
Okay.
that's kind of where I got an official taste, I guess, of what I could be doing. And I
Mhm.
just absolutely loved it. So I initially thought that I would go to school for music therapy. I loved music and I wanted to get into this realm. And so I went into school for that. But I had to do 2 years of a music diploma. And I just ultimately found that putting that pressure on my musical abilities just wasn't for me.
Okay.
And so I ended up dropping out of the program and I took a pivot, and then I found the applied behavior analysis degree program at
Mhm.
Capilano University. And I took one class and fell in love. I was like, okay, this is exactly where I should have been. And so I've now graduated, I have my degree. And so I'm kind of just working in that field and figuring out what everything looks like all mashed together, and whether that's, do I do a master's and continue down my path of going the ABA route, or do I see what music looks like and continue down that route, or do I keep them both as they are and kind of just go parallel? So that's
Yeah.
kind of the zone that I'm in right now, but I did go to school for it. And
Oh, I love that. And I love your vulnerability and just sharing, like, I thought I wanted to do this and being okay with dropping out and then finding something that you're passionate about. And I think what underlays with goals is you're not going to set a goal if you're not passionate about it. It's just not going to come to fruition, I think.
yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I love your journey and it's still going and everyone's gonna follow it. It's so exciting. I'm
Yay.
just gonna take a couple takeaways um, from our conversation. So I really, really loved how you started out with the number 10 question. Remember where you started. And when you were a little girl, you had all this drive and ambition and zest for life. And you just wanted to be in the action and having fun and singing. And I hope to this day that's still happening and you remember that because it's so important to reflect back. Um, there's something to be said about absolute serendipitous, beautiful timing. Uh, just having that person at the game when you were singing for your brother's
Yeah.
team, and then you putting the time and effort in, even in your pajamas, to put in that recording to potentially get this spot. It also takes time and patience because you had 7 to 8 years, of in and out, and then finally after COVID, they were like, "Full-time. We want you full-time." Obviously, because 'cause you're awesome. I want to, remind people that choosing kindness is just so important, because, yes, I love that quote that your dad tells you, and I think I wanna just put this, like, everywhere.
Do it.
People will remember you long after they will remember your performance, and if you're kind and you smile and you treat people the way that you wanna be treated, I absolutely adore this, and I think that that shines through in your other work, with the kids in your work area that you're in right now. Um, don't stop singing. Please keep singing. I mean,
I
what
will.
would we do?
I will.
What would we do without you? Is there anything else that you wanted to add about goals that people should be aware of?
Yeah, I think you said that you appreciated my honesty or something along those lines, and just being
Mhm.
real. And I think something so real about goals is that sometimes they're not met. And sometimes you have to reshape them. And sometimes you will achieve them, and that's amazing. But
Yeah.
that is an achievement, but so is having to reshape your goals and rewrite your goals. That's an
Yeah.
achievement in itself, because you're realizing, okay, wait, this isn't serving me. Let me reshift and let me
Yeah.
just go a different route. And I think it's really important to remember that that's not a failure, because I've been there where I've had a goal, I didn't achieve that goal, and immediately I just went into the negative and went into
Mm.
the kind of just pointing fingers at Elizabeth and saying you're not good enough. And it's so important to remember that you're not defined by your goals. You're not
Yes.
defined by your achievements either. And that's just
So
something that I think everyone should remember.
I think it's important because I think of all these kids going to university and they're thinking, I have to figure out what my job is. I need to know what's next. What's next? And I think that's what comes in is being honest with yourself. Excuse me. Um, and timing. I mean, you're not going to get it perfect all the time. No one's perfect. It's just finding what you like, and your story, your journey literally depicts that. You're like, one way, oh, pivot this way. So I just thank you so much for dropping in today. This
Thank
has
you for
been so
having
good.
me. Oh my gosh, this was so fun. We should do this all the
All
time.
the time. Let the people know where they can find you online so we can follow along on your journey.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I think that's probably where I'm most active. It's Elizabeth Irving Official. And it's the same on Facebook, the same on YouTube. And my website will be dropping very soon, which will be elizabethirving.com or .ca.
Awesome. And you can listen to her voice on YouTube on your hit TV show because there's already 6 million people that are subscribed.
Yeah, listen, it's fun for the kiddos to learn all about different things.
So great. Thanks so much for dropping in today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for dropping in today. You can find everything you want to know about Dropping In with Mercedes at droppinginwithmercedes.com. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks DJ Kenosis for the music and my mom for the intro voice.
Do